you and me, so better. We'll record it in case people is trying to join. Okay. Oh. All right. Good morning. So, yeah, morning, Michelle. So, I have been away for 3 weeks. So, let me see. I think it's on my phone too. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. Well, good morning to everybody online, if there's anybody watching there. So, I think today is a very nice day, and people are very busy with, graduation parties and so on. So we only have the two of us here. So, but anyway, we're going to enjoy this session and practice meditation and make use of our time. So I've been away for 3 weekends now. And traveling and spending time with my kids and doing other things and spending some time with my uncle whose wife recently passed away. So a lot of emotions going on. So the topic that I chose to do today is finding inner peace. Finding inner peace. So I think, usually we have a discussion, but, since it's just you and me, maybe we can just, discuss between the two of us about inner peace and how we try to find inner peace. So I think, a lot of us, and probably every one of us, have come across that stage sometimes, or a lot of times in our lives, where we just don't feel at peace. We don't feel at peace with what's going on in our lives, and we don't feel at peace with what's going on in the relationships between us and our loved ones or our friends. So the last 3 weeks, last 3 weeks, been very, very busy at work. There's some changes going on at the office, and then having the opportunity to spend time with my kids. My kids are older now; they're adults, so and we don't get together that often. The two younger ones are in college, and the rest of them are working. We don't really spend a lot of time together, and when you don't spend a lot of time together, you don't get to know the people that you love very well. I think to know anybody, I think even the loved ones, I find that we need to spend time together and talk to each other, and that the experiences taught me a lesson that just because my daughter or my son are my children, that doesn't mean that I automatically know who they are, and they automatically know who I am, without spending time and talking to each other. And sometimes when we do talk and we spend time with each other, we find out that, we can butt head. We can butt head, and we can disagree a lot, and that really, bring about the turmoil emotionally in our lives. So how do we go about finding inner peace? And I don't know if, in your life, have you had any experience like that, when you have to look deep inside yourself and try to find peace? Yeah.
Yeah. Earlier this year, I got
Yeah.
and just focusing on my spirituality me a lot.
Okay.
Spending time with that every day really helps a lot. And when I don't do it, I notice that.
Yeah.
Like today I didn't really do it, and I feel like I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done. And also like, watching what I eat, trying to eat more fruits and vegetables. I think even though people think of that as just like a physical change, it affects your mental health too.
Yes, yes. So what is your technique or your way of finding peace? Practicing?
Like meditating? Yes, I need to do more meditating.
Meditation helps too. But from what I've been listening to other teachers, the ways that they taught us how to find inner peace is number one, we have to listen with compassion. And I find that when I don't listen with compassion, I easily get into that critical, judgmental stage.
Me too.
And that disrupts the peace and the lovingness in the relationship, I think. Yeah, so always listen with compassion. And then we tend to criticize ourselves, and we tend to criticize other people too. So the second important technique of finding peace is to, I think, do self-loving and practice loving speech. And I think, with me, sometimes, if you don't practice, you don't get into that habit. If you don't practice, you don't get into that habit easily. And then you can easily jump into a reaction. It's normal, natural human reaction with criticism and harsh speech. And when we do that, automatically we bring, turmoil into our lives too. I don't know. It can bring suffering to us, and it also can bring suffering to the people who speak to. So finding inner peace needs practice, I think.
Yeah, yes. I agree.
Yeah, it needs practice, and we need to get into a habit as well. And I think all the things that we have learned so far since November, we can always apply that into our practice. It's all about, finding ourselves, recognizing our thoughts. So when we don't have peace in ourselves, it's mostly because of our thoughts.
Yeah.
It's mostly because of our thoughts. And so if we recognize our thoughts, if we are aware of our thoughts, we can actually label the thoughts and just acknowledge, accept that they are there, and then try to work with it, try to live with it, and then gradually we'll find the peace in ourselves. I think a lot of people, including myself, have I think initially we try to avoid that emotion, so if we are not at peace with ourselves because of anger, or because of sadness, or because of something else, it's because, either we don't accept those emotions, we try to avoid it, or we try to use it to a more, how do you say it? We try to express it in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and neither is good. So some people can get really, really angry and thrash out and everything, and some people try to suppress it, and both ways are not good. The middle way is a better way. The middle way is where you actually sit and look into yourselves and recognize that, yes, I do have anger in myself. And be frank with it, actually. You know, you look at anger and you say, you try to find out why, the reason why you are angry. And if you know the reason why, then you might try to find a solution to resolve it. Yeah. Whereas, you know, people who suppress their strong emotion, they don't deal with it, I think, because they avoid them, so therefore they don't find a way to resolve them. Mm-hmm. I believe that too. And the same with expressing them without being mindful. They express them, but they're not looking into the emotion to find a way to resolve it. So either way is not going to lead to inner peace, right? Yeah. So basically, in order to have inner peace, we ourselves have to do a lot of work, I think, from what I'm reading and listening to other teachers, and in my own experience. We have to listen with compassion. We have to do some loving speech. We have to do some self-compassion, and we have to have compassion for others. We have to be mindful of our thoughts and our words. And then we have to be mindful about our surroundings. We have to be mindful about other people that we talk to. And our thoughts can determine a lot on how we feel, whether we have peace or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have you got any example of what your thought influence your inner being?
Yeah, I've been trying to work on my self-talk because it's not very good. Yeah. Especially if I'm looking in the mirror. Like I was telling you, I have like a little breakout on my neck. The way I talk to myself about that is like not really the way I would speak to a friend or a sister. So I shouldn't speak to myself that way either. But it's hard to stop. Like it's hard to be nice to yourself. But I think, I need to do that.
Yeah.
So, I've been trying to be more mindful of my thoughts, but it's a struggle because you can't really stop them from bubbling up. It's different than watching what you say, or you can control that better. You can control who you spend time around, but if there's a problem inside and it keeps bubbling up, I think that's a more difficult task too.
Yeah. So when you are aware of those emotions or thoughts, what mechanism do you use to bring peace?
I try to offset them with positive things. Yeah. So for example, if I'm it's so gross that my neck is breaking out like that. That's disgusting. I'm too old to have that problem. Yeah. Then I'll try to say 3 nice things about myself.
Yeah.
But that's when I notice it happening. I do it without noticing so much. So, I mean, I'm sure it's a struggle for everybody.
Yeah.
But
I think I was listening to Jack Cornfield, the professor, in a podcast, and he mentioned something about a lot of people don't even know who we are. A lot of people are not aware of who they are exactly. Mm-hmm. So if you ask the people who they are, they would say, okay. Now, for example, if you ask me who I am, most people would say, okay, I'm Trin. Okay, I'm Trin. I'm a rheumatologist. I'm a mother of 3 kids, and I live in. So they describe themselves based on the name. Okay, here I am Trin, and then their roles. Okay, so I'm a mother of 3. Okay, or they say it's their job. That's who they are. I'm a rheumatologist, so that's who they are. But really, those are external things. Those are not actually what determine who you are. Really, that's what he said. So, and even this body that we exist in, it's not who we are either, if you look really deep into it. And, past life regression through hypnosis show that we can assume different bodies in different lives. So this body is not truly who we are either. It's the consciousness is who we are. And it's hard. I mean, if you ask me who I am, do I really know who I am exactly? I don't think I know truly, fully who I am, because in this life I exist in this female body here, and that female body can change, and one day it's gone. Once I'm gone, it's burned, it's cremated, and so on. And so this body doesn't define who I am. So when we get too attached to things that we think determine who we are, like the role as a rheumatologist or engineer or mother or father or name, then they are just temporary, impermanent things. Temporary, impermanent things that don't really exactly determine who you are, and you can get really, you get affected by those things when they change, because they are impermanent, right? So they go through changes all the time. And one day I won't be a rheumatologist anymore when I retire, right? And one day I'll, instead of, my role may change. I'm a mother now, but now I will become a grandmother and then a great-grandmother, and so you assume many more roles. So then, who are you becoming then, if the role is what determines who you are? So if you get attached to those, it's hard to find inner peace as well, I think. So, but I still don't truly know the answer of who am I exactly, who am I exactly, and what really bring me the inner peace, and what determine inner peace. But what I've learned is that we cannot use materialistic things to determine the inner peace. So it's more of physiological. What's the philosophical way of looking at things. Yeah. So in our lives, we are always striving to find inner peace, right? All of us try to find inner peace. All of us try to have as much peace in our lives as possible. And I think one day we can feel very peaceful. The next day something happened, and it's all, something happened at work, or something happened outside on the street that disrupt that peace. And we are constantly have to be in the awareness and mindfulness to practice how to bring that inner peace back into our lives. And I think, the more we practice at being mindful and having awareness of our lives, the better we are at finding inner peace. And the more inner peace we will have too. Yeah. I don't know. And I think meditation is one of the techniques that helps me finding inner peace. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I agree.
Yeah. I think it's, for me, meditation is a very effective way of bringing me back into myself and get to know me, who I am exactly, and what do I want out of this life, and what is the purpose of me being here. And I think through practice we get to know who we are, and then the more we know who we are and the purpose that we have in our lives, the more inner peace we'll have. So with that, let's see if we can sit together and practice some meditation to look into ourselves and find inner peace. Now, I think, sometimes we find that other people get upset with us for some unknown reason. I said, out of the blue, somebody else got upset with us, and what did we do? What did we say? We go back into ourselves and examine ourselves and try to find out the reason. And we, as I think it's hard. It's hard. We always try to blame ourselves for what's happening, but we have to recognize that other people also have their own thoughts, and maybe it's their thoughts that lead to their action. That thoughts lead to action, and maybe it's nothing wrong with you at all. Nothing that you did, nothing that you said that upset them. And you cannot control what they think either. If every one of us practice looking deep back into ourselves and examine what we do, what we say, then eventually things will smooth out. Because, for example, if you and I have a close relationship, and just one day, I don't know what happened, but you're upset with me, and I don't know why you're upsetting with me, and I look into myself, and I couldn't find a reason, I haven't done anything wrong, I haven't said anything. But if you also look into yourselves and examine what your thoughts are, what your actions are, maybe you might be able to identify something that, okay, yes, my friend didn't do anything wrong, it's my thought. I thought wrong about her, or I thought wrong about him. And that leads to the suffering for both of us, actually. So yeah. So let's practice meditation on that. And so we're going to sit comfortably, and make sure that your feet fell asleep. Yeah. So you don't have to sit cross-legged if you don't feel comfortable. You can stretch your legs out. Make sure that your back is straight. Your posture is very important. With good posture, you can actually sit and meditate for a long time too. So, okay. So just assume a comfortable posture and just close our eyes, or look slightly down to the floor if you want to open your eyes. And take a few deep breaths in and out. And as we take deep breaths in and out, we return to ourselves. And we return to our breaths. And let's follow our breaths in and out. Deep breathing in and slowly breathing out. Now focus on your body senses from the top of your head down to the toes. Feel your facial muscles, your forehead muscle. Are they relaxed? Feel the muscles in your neck. And your shoulders. And your arms. Bring your awareness to your breath. Feel your chest cage rising and collapsing. Feel your abdominal muscles rising and collapsing. Feel your back. Feel your hips. Your thighs. Your knees. Your calves and shins. down to your ankles, your feet, and your toes. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. I'm bringing awareness back into myself. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. With each breath, I am aware that I am alive. In this moment, I'm bringing the awareness back into myself. I'm taking myself on a journey of finding inner peace. Deep breathing in and slowly breathing out. As I'm breathing in and out deeply, I'm bringing awareness to my thoughts. With each thought, I'm going to try and recognize what that thought is about. I'm bringing awareness to my feelings that is associated with that thought. How do I feel? Am I at peace with that thought? What should I do if the thought is negative? Do I have the power to change it? To direct my thought to a positive one? Do I have the power to look at that thought with compassion? And gently let it go? How do I feel when that thought is no longer there? Do I feel light? Do I feel peace? Am I happy that I now have positive thoughts instead of negative ones? Do I now have the understanding as how that negative thought arises? Do I have the understanding of how to cultivate positive thoughts? Deep breathing in, slowly breathing out. Where are we now? Are we in a place where we feel peace? In this moment, I am returning to myself. In this moment, we are returning to ourselves. We are getting to know our senses. We are getting to know our thoughts. We are on the path of discovering who we are. And how we can bring peace to our lives and to other people's lives. In this moment, and with each deep breath, we're practicing how to listen with compassion. With each deep breath, we remind ourselves not to be critical of others, with each deep breath, we remind ourselves not to be critical of ourselves. Deep breathing in and slowly breathing out. In this practice, we remind ourselves to always have the right views. We know that the right views will lead to the right actions. Right views will help us to have the right speech. Wrong views lead to wrong actions and wrong speech. We practice reminding ourselves that wrong views, wrong actions, and wrong speech will disrupt peace. our inner peace and peace for the world. Deep breathing in and slowly breathing out. Hopefully by now, most of us will feel like we are at peace and fully relaxed. Let's take a few deep breaths in and out, and we will practice some visualization meditation. Deep breathing in and slowly breathing out. Now visualize that we are so light. We are so peaceful with ourselves. Imagine we are floating in the air. Among the sunshine and the blue sky. And we feel the breeze flowing past our bodies. We feel so elated, so happy. And we hear not alone. We hear with our friends who have been practicing and are in the same peaceful state as us. We're taking in the deep, fresh air that fill our lungs. Imagine that our bodies are now filled with loving kindness. This loving golden light is flowing down our bodies, soaking our bodies with love, compassion, and kindness. This moment is so blissful. We're taking in all the fresh air, all the lights, with each breath. We're aware of all of our senses. We enjoy what we are seeing. We enjoy what we are hearing. We enjoy what we are feeling. And life is beautiful. Now slowly return to ourselves. Continue breathing in deeply and slowly, in and out. Bring our awareness back into the room and slowly opening our eyes. And we are coming into the end of this sitting meditation. So, oof, my legs are numb.
What's wrong with me today?
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. It's this way or that way. Yeah. Yeah. Either way. Yeah. Okay, so we will wait for Michelle to return to the room. So in the meantime, I'm going to move my arms and legs. Sometimes when we sit cross-legged, our legs become numb. because the nerves get pressed on too long. But sometimes when we practice meditation deeply and fully, we are not aware of that sensation during the meditation. We are always only aware of that when we come back into the room and out of that meditative state. So I'm letting my legs relax and let that numbness and tingling getting out of the legs right now. Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to need to stand up so we can do some stretching. All right. So, ooh. All right. Ooh. How do you feel? Good? Yes? Okay. So, oh my God, we just have to move our legs a little bit here and there, and then we can swing our body a little bit, like that. So that loosens the muscles in the back as well. And then we can do some stretch. So we'll put our arms out and feet, shoulders wide apart, and then we can do this. Stretch to one side, deep breathing in and out, and deep breathing in to the other side and out. And we do that a few times. Deep breathing in and out, and in and out. And now we stretch one arm like this with the other arm, and then switch arm and stretch out the other arm, and then change again. We do that one arm and then the other arm, and then we do this eagle pose, like right arm underneath the left arm, and then we stretch up, deep breathing in, and then with the breathing out we bend down like that, deep breathing out, and then deep breathing in and breathing out. And one more time, you can feel the back, the lower back stretching, right? Good, okay. Now, we will do a few minutes of walking meditation. So, I'll ring the bell. Okay, so with each bell, I think, do you prefer the bell or do you prefer just walking? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, I don't know if yeah, okay, so with each bell ring, we just walk with our feet, right? So, deep breathing in and out and in and out. We'll do one more circle and then we'll return to our seat. Okay? Continue to take deep breathing in and out as you walk. All right, so that finished our walking meditation. So we can sit down and just share our thoughts together, Michelle. How do you find the walking meditation now?
I was going too fast because I started to creep up on you a little bit. So not too fast, but I was taking, my steps were too big.
Yeah.
So I tried to stop.
Yeah, I think it's easier for us to do the sitting meditation than walking meditation. I don't do the walking meditation that much because, you know, my days during the week is so hectic and busy that I don't have the chance. But so I enjoy walking slowly. It really forced me to slow down and relax. So,
Yeah, especially when I go for a walk.
Yeah, so just take this off so we can hear you. Yeah. So how did you find the practice today?
I found myself, I really liked it, but I did find myself getting distracted because I was paying more attention to my thoughts because of what we discussed, and I kept thinking about the celery.
Okay. Yeah.
And at one point in the meditation, you talked about like observing your thought and just accepting it instead of, you know, beating yourself up over it, I guess. So I tried to do that, and also just like not judging my thoughts and my feelings, and just like allowing them to be there, and then I noticed they go way faster when I do that. So I really liked, you know, thinking about it that way.
I can't remember if you were here when we did that meditation about observing our thoughts. Were you here?
When was that?
I think probably a couple of months ago.
Oh, probably not then.
Yeah. So in that meditation, we talked about observing our thoughts. You know, recognizing the thoughts and labeling the thoughts, and then come to terms with the thoughts. Be friends. You know, be friends with our thoughts, and then letting go. And in that session, we talked about letting go even the nice thoughts, you know, and because we know that nothing stays with us forever. So even nice thoughts will leave, and the negative, bad thoughts will come. And so we practice that. So when the nice thoughts come, we recognize it and we enjoy it and we feel happy. But when it goes away, we don't feel sad, right?
Right.
So we learn to let go of the nice things without feeling sad or feeling lost. You know, because grief is something that we also discussed in our previous meditation too. And we grieve when we lose something dearly that is dear to our hearts, right? So then when we go through the grieving process, we have a lot of thoughts, lots of thoughts going on in our mind, and then by observing our thoughts, labeling our thoughts, and letting go of our thought, I think it helps us to suffer less, you know. So suffer less through grief, suffer less through loss, and so on, and we are able to enjoy the good things even more. I don't know if you come across that feeling in your meditation or not, when you are mindful of your thought, especially the good thoughts. Yeah, do you feel even more happy?
I think, well, unfortunately, the thoughts I tend to pay attention to are the bad ones, but I will try that.
Yeah, because the positive thoughts also help us to be more, I think, appreciative of what we have.
Yeah.
You know, when we pay more attention to our negative thoughts because we try to address the problems. But the positive thoughts also have values.
Right.
You know, because they help to strengthen us too. You know, they allow us to feel more appreciative and to feel the happiness that comes with those positive thoughts. You know, to just imagine something that come into your mind that is really positive. Have you had anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have that positive thought in your mind, what do you do normally?
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah. So you can enjoy the positive thoughts. You look at your thought and say, "Oh yes, thank you for coming to me, and I appreciate you, and you know, that is a wonderful thought. I'm going to enjoy it for now, and enjoy it, and then, you know, when that thought goes away, when you let go of that thought, that happiness, I think, will linger on a little bit longer. And I think that's what I find in myself too. Oftentimes we don't pay much attention to our positive thoughts. We take it for granted, actually.
Yeah.
We take for granted. Yeah. Today we don't have many people, so this session of sharing experience is kind of short, but I hope it's helpful for people who join us online. And it's a beautiful day outside, though. I hope you have nice plan for the weekend. And so I hope you have a good weekend, and I wish everybody online watching us having a good weekend too. So I hope this session help every one of us have a way of finding inner peace. And I hope that we all will continue to practice and practice and practice. Yeah. So today's session is now ended, and we want to just say some gratitude. So thank you, Michelle, for coming here. Thank you, everyone online, for watching us. And we send compassion to you all and to the world. And don't forget to treat ourselves with compassion. So, goodbye. Yeah. Have a good weekend.